Many decades ago, a Muslim king ruled Yemen. The king was an extremely good person. He held the friends of Allah in high regard. This king had a close friendship with a pious fakir, and that pious fakir would always stay with the king. Whenever the king needed anything, the fakir would arrive at the king's court. Despite all this, the king had one bad habit. Whenever he saw a beautiful woman, he would find some way to bring her to his court. The king wished to spend his entire life with those beautiful women without entering into the bond of marriage. Seeing this bad habit of the king, the pious fakir would repeatedly warn him. The fakir would say, "O honorable king, if you like a woman, then marry her." In Islam, marriage is a very virtuous act. But in Islam, adultery is a very grave sin. Bringing in women who are not yours and are forbidden to you, and doing these things is truly a massive sin. Although the king heard everything the fakir said, he refused to accept this one thing. Instead, he would say, "Look, I am a king. It is your great fortune that you are my friend. Besides, being a king, I cannot listen to everything you say." Hearing these words from the king, the pious man would fall silent. He thought to himself that advising this king was sheer foolishness. It was better to simply stay with the king, as one day the king would surely understand the significance of his words. One day, a massive storm began in that area. Due to the intense storm, the fakir's house was destroyed. The next day, the king's soldiers arrived and told the fakir that the king had summoned him. But just then, the fakir's wife came and said, "You do not need to go to the king now. Does the king look after you properly? He could build you a palace if he wanted to. Anyway, before going to the king, make arrangements to repair your house." The fakir felt very pained hearing this and said to his wife, "Look, my friend wants to give me many things, but I do not accept them." The soldiers present there overheard their conversation. Later, one of them went to the king and explained the whole incident. The soldier said to the king, "O honorable king, the fakir's wife said that despite being the fakir's friend, you haven't built him a palace or done him any favor to this day." Later, one day, the king said to the fakir, "You are my friend. Just give me your permission once, and I will build you a palace. I will provide your home with the same expensive furniture that I have in my house. I will appoint as many servants to your service as I have in my palace." Hearing this, the fakir said, "O honorable king, I did not befriend you to take advantage of the friendship. And yes, my wife said those things in a fit of anger. I have already repaired the house that was broken by the storm, and my wife has understood my words." Eventually, one day, the king and the fakir went out hunting together. As usual, the fakir walked on foot instead of riding a horse, while the king rode on his horse. As they traveled, the king became very thirsty. The fakir then said to the king, "O honorable king, please wait under the shade of a tree. Let me see if I can arrange some water." With this, the fakir went out in search of water. After walking a short distance, he found a pond. The water in the pond was very clear. The fakir had become very tired from walking, so he thought he would first drink some water and then call the king there. Although the king had many bad habits, the fakir loved him from his heart. After drinking a little water, the fakir was about to head back to call the king when his eyes fell upon a stone statue. Looking at the statue, the fakir wondered in surprise how a woman could be so beautiful. He thought to himself, if only life would enter this statue and it could start walking. The fakir knew that although the king liked people of Allah, he was very weak toward beautiful women. Standing before the statue, the fakir thought, if the king sees this stone statue, he will surely say, "Take this statue to my palace." Thinking this, the fakir hid the statue behind a bush. He then returned to the king and told him about the pond. They both went to the pond together and quenched their thirst. Now, the king asked the fakir to gather some wood so they could cook and eat meat. At the king's command, the fakir went to gather wood, and the king stayed there to rest. After some time, while the king was wandering around enjoying nature, his eyes fell upon the bush. He felt as if something was behind it. The king went to the bush and discovered the stone statue. When the king pulled the statue out from the bush, his eyes widened in shock because he had never seen such a beautiful woman's statue before. Moreover, the king had been weak toward women from the beginning. Thus the king stared at the statue with unblinking eyes. He could not look away from it. After a while, the fakir arrived with the wood. Seeing the fakir, the king said, "O friend, I command you to take this statue to my palace." The fakir then said, "O honorable king, we cannot take this statue from here. I believe someone has created this statue for a special purpose and they worship it. That is, some non-Muslim created this. It could be their deity. If you want to take this statue from here, it might cause unnecessary chaos and conflict." Hearing these words, the king became very angry. He began to say, "Who are you to stop me from taking possession of this statue? Even if this statue belongs to a non-Muslim, I like it. I am the king of this land. I can do whatever I want. I like this statue and I will take it with me." The poor fakir tried to explain many times, saying, "My lord, people respect you a lot. If you do this, they will all oppose you. Do not do this. Until today you have not oppressed anyone, but today you are pointing fingers at me because of a mere statue." Until now, Almighty Allah was between the friendship of the king and the fakir, but due to this statue of a woman, a conflict arose between them. The fakir was a man of Allah, but the king had become mad for this statue, even to the point of sacrificing his own friend. Then the king said, "From today, I do not want to see your face. You can leave right now. I do not want to see you before me anymore. You have opposed me today." The fakir replied, "O honorable king, I opposed you for your own good. If you take this statue from here, I feel you will fall into some danger. You do not understand, but I do. Almighty Allah knows everything, and only He can rescue you from this danger. Pray to Almighty Allah to save you. Otherwise, you will fall into a massive problem and will not be able to get out of here." The king looked at the fakir in surprise as he kept repeating the same words in his old clothes. This increased the king's anger further. Now, the king's rage reached its peak. He called his soldiers and ordered them to take this fakir far away and dump him. Immediately the king's soldiers removed the fakir from that forest and left him far away. Then the king ordered, "O soldiers, pick up this statue from here and take it to my palace. I like this statue very much. I have never seen such a beautiful statue anywhere." As soon as the soldiers went to lift the statue from the ground, a massive storm broke out. The earth began to shake and a divine punishment arrived. They were all buried halfway into the ground, but none of them died. The king watched these events in shock and wondered what was happening. Suddenly, a man with a wicked face appeared before the king. While buried halfway in the ground, the king asked the man, "Who are you?" In response, the wicked-faced man said, "I am a sorcerer. You have made a big mistake by touching my statue. You cannot imagine what is about to happen to you. I will tell you now." The king said, "How dare you speak to me like that? Don't you know how powerful a king I am?" The sorcerer replied, "If you were powerful, you wouldn't be buried in the earth like this. You have made a great mistake by touching my God. You placed your impure hands on my God. You wanted to take my God to your palace. What did you want to prove by doing this? Just because you are a Muslim, can you do whatever you want?" The king said, "I liked this statue very much and wanted it to be with me." The sorcerer said, "This statue is my goddess, and today I will sacrifice all of you before my goddess." Hearing the sorcerer's words, the king realized the danger and became deeply distressed. He thought, "My fakir friend was right. I have fallen into a massive trap. O Allah, please, forgive me. Caught in the temptation of a mere woman's statue, I drove away my dervish friend from before my eyes. And now, even if he wanted to, he cannot return to me. The king continued to pray, "O Almighty Allah, please help me. I had gone astray. O Allah, now this sorcerer will cut all our throats. He will sacrifice us all before this statue. O Almighty Allah, we do not want such a cruel death. Please forgive us. From today, I will never cast an evil eye on any woman. My friend advised me many times. Even today he tried to explain, telling me not to touch this statue. O Almighty Allah, help us just once." While the king was praying like this, he felt as if a voice was coming to his ears. When he turned back, he saw his friend, that pious man of Allah, standing there. The king said, "Friend, you have come." The Fakir replied, "O king, how could I leave you and go? I knew you would surely fall into some danger. I have come, and by the mercy of Allah, we will all be successful." Then that Hindu sorcerer came to the Fakir and said, "What are you trying to say? You cannot be greater than me." In response, the Fakir said, "The one I believe in is greater than everyone. He is our Lord. He is the owner of all power. The one you worship is a mere statue made by your hands, and you worship it. You prostrate before this statue, but this statue itself cannot walk. And our Lord is never touched by sleep or slumber. He is the possessor of all power. He is the giver of life and the giver of death." Hearing these words, the sorcerer became very angry and said, "O Fakir, now I will cast such a spell on you that you will be burnt to ashes by its power. Then I will kill this king as well." When the Hindu sorcerer began to recite his spells, the Fakir started praying to Allah in his heart, "O Almighty Allah, this sorcerer wants to prove you false. Leaving you, he worships this statue and considers it his deity. He wants to kill your best creation before this statue. Please show this sorcerer that you, Allah, are the greatest." As the dervish was making this prayer, Almighty Allah granted life to that statue. The statue that could not walk or talk turned into a living human by the command of Almighty Allah. She said to the sorcerer, "O sorcerer, you worship me and pray to me. Now tell me, what have I given you to this day? You have unnecessarily killed innocent people before me." The sorcerer looked at the stone statue in shock and wondered how a statue made of stone had come to life and was speaking. Then the sorcerer said to the Fakir, "O Fakir, perhaps you yourself are a sorcerer. Surely this is your work." In response, the dervish said, "This is not my miracle. It is the miracle of my Lord. He is our creator. He is one and has no partner." Then the sorcerer said, "I accept, and I bring faith in your Allah, and I am becoming a Muslim." Then the statue said to the king, "O king, you have always looked at non-mahram women and committed sins. If you truly like me and want to keep me with you for the rest of your life, then you must marry me." The king said, "I will marry you." Subsequently, the king took her to the palace and married her and made her the queen of the kingdom. Subhanallah. There was a Muslim man who, despite being a Muslim by name, never worshipped Almighty Allah. This Muslim man liked a Hindu woman very much. That woman lived in the same village as the Muslim man. Most of the people in that village were Hindus. Once, that Hindu woman was going somewhere with her husband, wearing very beautiful clothes. The Muslim man was passing by the same path. Seeing the Hindu woman, the Muslim man stopped and thought to himself, "If only this woman could be mine somehow. I want this woman by any means." Thinking this, the Muslim man began to follow the Hindu woman. The Hindu husband and wife were walking through a forest path, and the Muslim man was riding a horse. Suddenly, the Muslim man appeared before them with his horse. He then addressed them, saying, "I feel very sorry seeing your struggle. You are traveling on foot. If you don't mind, I can take you to your destination on this horse. This will ease your trouble, and I will also feel good." Hearing these words from the Muslim man, the Hindu woman's husband said, "Thank you very much. We can walk. You don't have to worry about us." When the Muslim man saw his proposal was flatly rejected, he said in an even sweeter tone, "Even if you don't get on, "Let your wife get on my horse. She looks very tired. I cannot bear to see a woman in such distress." Hearing the Muslim man's words, the Hindu man clearly understood that he must have some bad intentions. Then the Hindu man said, "Brother, thank you very much. My wife will walk with me. You don't have to be troubled. You may go. We will slowly reach our destination." Saying this, they began to walk very fast toward the front. Now the Muslim man was somewhat disappointed because he could not convince the Hindu man to let him take his wife. He began to think, "What do I do now? How do I fulfill my heart's desire?" Thinking all this, he again went before them with his horse and said to the Hindu man, "Look, brother, you are not thinking of yourself, nor even of your wife. At least think of her pain." The Hindu man replied, "I love my wife very much, and I understand what is good and what is bad for her." Hearing the Hindu man's words, the Muslim man said, "If it is true that you love your wife very much, then allow her to ride my horse. Look at her once, how tired your wife has become. Just look at the condition of her feet." Then the Hindu man thought that since they had a long way to travel on foot, his wife would suffer a lot. Thinking this, the Hindu man said to the Muslim man, "Oh brother, promise me, give me a guarantee that you will reach her to the destination without causing her any harm. You look like a Muslim, and no Muslim breaks a promise. Can you bring any guarantor in this forest who can testify for you?" The Muslim man said to the Hindu woman's husband, "I am ready to help you at this moment, and you are asking me for a guarantor. Who can I bring here as a witness?" Until then, the Hindu woman had been silent. Now she suddenly spoke up, "You can surely give a guarantee." The Muslim man asked, "What is that thing I can give at this moment?" The Hindu woman said, "Do one thing. Keep Ghaus-e-Azam Abdul Qadir Gilani, RA, as the guarantor. You people follow him a lot. If you can keep the great saint as the guarantor, then I'm ready to get on the horse with you." That Muslim man did not believe in saints at all and strongly disliked the friends of Almighty Allah. In his desire to have the Hindu woman and falling into the temptation of Satan, he said, "Fine, I am keeping the great Saint Abdul Qadir Gilani, RA, as the guarantor here, and I am keeping this guarantee knowing everything about him. If any discrepancy occurs in my words, he may seize me. Besides, Almighty Allah will never forgive me." After hearing this, the Hindu woman said to her husband, "Now you allow me to get on the horse. Stay at ease. Nothing will happen to me. I will reach the destination safely." Then the Hindu man said, "You can get on this Muslim man's horse." Now the Hindu woman sat on the horse. The horse began to move forward slowly, and the Hindu man followed behind the horse. But the Hindu man did not know what was going on in the Muslim man's mind. After some time, the Muslim man drew his sword and severed the head of the Hindu woman's husband. With one stroke of the sword, the Hindu man's head fell far away, and he died right there. After committing this act, he started moving fast with his horse. Seeing her husband's brutal death, the Hindu woman was stunned and kept looking back repeatedly. The Muslim man said, "Looking back repeatedly won't help. Your husband will never return. How did you think I would take you along with your husband safely? I have liked you for so many days and desired to have you as my own, but I didn't get you by easy means, so I killed your husband." But the beautiful woman did not answer the Muslim man's words. She just kept looking back. The Muslim man said angrily, "What are you looking at? Behind you again and again. I have severed your husband's head and killed him. It is impossible for him to return to life now." Finally, the Hindu woman spoke up, "I am not looking for my husband. I am looking for the great Saint Abdul Qadir Gilani, RA, whose guarantee you gave. Now he will surely come to help me." Hearing this, the Muslim man began to laugh loudly and said, "The one you are talking about left this world long ago. How can he come after so many years? I just took his name to get you. I used him as a guarantor just for that. Let me tell you, I don't believe in him, and I don't believe in any saints." As soon as he said this, a pious elder suddenly appeared before him. Without saying a word, that elder struck the Muslim man on the horse with a sword right at the neck, separating his head from his body. Then that elder brought the Hindu woman to where her husband's severed head and body lay. The Hindu woman did not know who this elder was, because his face was not visible. His face was entirely radiant with light. The Hindu woman could only understand that the elder was standing before the dead Muslim man and her dead husband. She also saw the elder raising his hands toward Allah and saying something. Then the elder addressed her husband and said, "In the name of Allah, arise." Immediately the Hindu man rose back to life and stood up, and the elder disappeared. Seeing this miraculous event, the husband and wife looked at each other in surprise. The Hindu woman's husband said, "I am certain this elder was the great Saint Abdul Qadir Gilani, R.A. From what I understood, he said these Arabic words, 'O wife, we have worshipped idols all our lives. But look, we only remembered a friend of Almighty Allah, and see how he came to help us in the name of Allah. O wife, instead of going where we were headed, what if we return to our home and become Muslims by reciting the Kalima?" In response, his wife said, "I have wanted to say this to you for a long time, but I couldn't out of fear. From the moment I remembered Abdul Qadir Gilani, R.A., from my heart, I felt that we must recite the Kalima by any means. Now that you also have no objection, we will surely recite the Kalima and become complete Muslims." Then the Hindu husband and wife returned to their home and became Muslims by reciting the Kalima. Subhanallah.